June 24th, 2018. I know, another nighttime video. I'm sorry, people. But when you discover something and you just know you have to get back and videotape it and get it while you're thinking about it, you gotta do it. So, question for you. What are insects in the plant soil system? Insects are nature's garbage collectors. They clean up unhealthy plants. And so plants that have low nutrition and plants who have an imbalance in nutrients and have an excess of one nutrient and a deficiency in another don't grow healthily. And they show up to those insects. Insects see in the infrared spectrum. They show up to those insects just like we would see a bright red image for a really hot object on a thermal imaging camera. Same concept. So tonight I'm out in the potatoes. I've had a Colorado bug infestation, and I have been trying to get the nutrition of the plants up high enough to stop that infestation, either through making the bugs go after some other food or through indigestion because they're unable to digest higher level compounds. That's a whole nother discussion, or a deeper discussion, so I won't go into depth at that right now. But I wanted to show that I'm out here doing a nutrient injection right now, actually. I know that sounds horrible, injection. But basically I'm injecting nutrients into these drip lines and using that as a delivery method to get nutrients into the soil. And specifically I'm injecting some Rejuvenate, some Sea Shield, and some Sea Stim to help boost plant immunity. And the reason for that is the Colorado potato bug infestation. And so that groundwork all laid so you understand the situation. One of these drip lines wasn't tied as tight as the other ones on the end, and it's leaking a little bit more water out as we're pumping. So you can see how much extra water is coming out of there. And I'll show you a dripper as a comparison. So there's a dripper dripping. So you can see there's quite a bit more water coming out. And so when you do a nutrient injection, because it's in such concentration, and unless you mix in a really large tank, which I don't have set up at the moment, so you end up with excess nutrient in certain spots where your drip lines leak like this. So ordinarily you would go back through and try and prevent this from happening, but this turned out to be a really lucky opportunity for all of us to learn. And the reason I say that is because, number one, let's just take a look at these plants and their leaves. Their leaves are super thick. In fact, I'll even tear one off so you can see just how thick that leaf is. See if I can zoom right in for you. Okay. And more importantly, you'll notice just how glossy these leaves are and how dark green and healthy. They have a sheen to them. They're producing higher levels of plant compounds and higher complexities of plant compounds without going deep into science about it. Basically, they're producing their own defensive compounds. So, interestingly enough, you don't see too many Colorado potato bugs on these. I thought I saw one there. Yeah, one right there. But other than that, I don't really see too many. And you notice how much healthier these plants look. And here is a great example, because this is the end of the row where that leak is. And if you come back down where I've been feeding, normally you can see that I'm not feeding enough. I don't have that nutrient level up high enough yet. The plants are much smaller. You can see a good portion of the leaves have been chewed off of these plants, and you can see the larvae of the Colorado potato bug actively chewing on these plants right now. And they're getting ready to go down in the ground and do their dormant phase. And so they're fueling up to do that. They'll get significantly bigger than that before they do. We'll come over and have another look. You can see these plants here also didn't receive enough nutrient, or the soil is imbalanced, or something. There's something not right here. And these aren't healthy plants. And because they're not healthy plants, these bugs are eating them. That's their job in the ecosystem. So this whole concept of spraying poisons on bugs is really not addressing literally the root cause of the problem, and is instead a mask, just a bad way to address an actual problem. Instead of going after the root cause, which is a soil deficiency or nutritional deficiency, we're going and masking it with chemicals. And when we start doing that, there's a lot of negative consequences that come out of it. So I just wanted to point this opportunity out while I could. It just stumbled across it while I was out here inspecting the crops, and I thought I would share it with people to help kind of better understand the concepts that I'm talking about. And also, I decided that I'm not going to patch this. I'm going to leave this like this. I just did an injection tonight, and I'm doing a heavy drip irrigation as a flush, and just to build the soil moisture up good. But I'm going to leave this, and I'm going to let it continue to get that extra dose of nutrient, and that'll give me a really good gauge against the rest of the plants in the row at the normal dose, just how far behind I am and how much further I have to go to get my soil health up to where I can actually prevent potato bugs from attacking it. Or maybe, if I can really get things right, I'd love to show you blowing them up, because they can't digest the higher level compounds that the plants are producing. Anyway, I know I've gotten kind of long-winded about this, but I really wanted to go into a little bit of detail. I hope you appreciate it. I'm sorry that it's another night shot. I'd love to do it in the daytime, but I just had to do it while I was inspired. So with that, thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network YouTube channel.